Good evening, everybody. This is your host, the one and only Mr. LP Steven Sykes, and I have a very good interview for everybody for a part of our Enliven radio series here. And I have the wonderfully talented, multi-talented young lady, Miss Yolonda Ross. How you doing today, ma'am?
Doing great. How are you, Steven?
I'm doing all right. Now, by the way, did I pronounce your name correct?
Yes, it's Yolanda.
Okay, no problem. How was your holiday?
Um, it's great.
Okay, no, not a problem.
My holiday was great. I'm looking forward to the new year.
Oh,
So much has already started, and I just know it's going to be a lot more of it. So
okay.
I'm very happy about everything.
No problem. Well, man, well, a couple of questions for you. Where are you from?
Omaha, Nebraska.
Nebraska. Now, do you enjoy being out there? Typically, from people's general view, there's not a many minorities, and especially African American women out there. What was your experience growing up in Nebraska?
There's a lot of black people here. Um, because that's right that there wasn't.
Oh no, some people say that
Is that correct?
stereotypically, people who are not familiar with the area, they would think they're
Oh
not
yeah,
really.
no, exactly.
Mm,
Yeah, there's a lot of minorities here, and not outside of Omaha, but in Omaha there is. And I did. I'm thankful for growing up here, and grateful that I did because it it's a different environment. I mean, Omaha is different than it was when I grew up here, and I feel like there's a beauty and a an innocence here that I don't think you can get in a lot of places. A lot of say bigger cities, and it just allows you to kind of slow down a little bit and take in life, really. And I appreciate that I had that chance to do that while growing up. I feel a lot of times young people don't look at it in the same way because you're eager to go do more and do things quicker and faster. But like seriously, once you become an adult and you have to deal with everything, I think you look back and well, hopefully you will look back on it and appreciate it because I feel like life is at I feel that life things in life just happen at warp speed, and that's like across the board. So I do appreciate being able to just kind of slow down and take in my surroundings, when I'm home.
How did you are you do you still live in reside in Omaha now, or are you
No,
residing
I
in?
live in New York. I mean, New York and LA.
Okay. How does you feel that when you mentioned the slowness and take pace? How do you feel when you see students or young people in the area made you have access to more things obviously in bigger cities versus there? Do you find yourself having the ability to take things from view from a different level, even though you're around way more people, 5, 10 times more the amount of people that you grew up with?
I feel like, and it could just be a personal thing, but I feel like I pay attention to people, like all people. Um, I feel like I take in situations, take in, my surroundings, people around me. I just take the time to do that. So I don't know if that's just me personally or if that's because of where I grew up, or why exactly that is, but I do feel like where I come from is a part of that. So I will, give Nebraska credit for that on some level of being able to do that.
Okay.
But yeah, it doesn't matter where I'm at. I'm going to just kind of take things at I probably at just a slower pace. That's just how I am.
How would you say, when you growing up, what got you into acting? were like how life growing up? Were you involved in other things, or was you always like acting or performing in front of family on Christmas and holiday times, like a lot of kids do in the kitchen? They grandma
No, I
makes you play an
wasn't that
instrument.
person. Yeah, acting came later in life. I was always musical,
Mm.
so I've always played instruments and sang, but acting was not something on my plate at the time. It came very late as an adult, and it really was music that got me into acting. So
So one thing kind of
on
led to the other.
one what?
One thing led to another.
Yeah, one. Well, I would put it this way: one thing helped me get to the other, because just like when I was mentioning how I pay attention to people, it's sort of like I can just suck up all the information out of you in a way. That's a funny way to put it, but it's just like I kind of want to learn everything about people, how people function. Whether I like the person or not, whether they have habits that annoy me or not. It it's just from beginning to end how a person functions, and understanding that, because it also helps you understand emotions and thought process of characters, and that has always been interesting to me. Like wanting to just walk inside someone's home and almost like the show Quantum Leap, become that person and see how they live, see how they function, see how they feel, just understand them. That feeling has always been there, so I feel that acting was something that I didn't really look at for myself, because I personally am a shy person, so I wouldn't have thought of it for myself. I didn't think of it for myself, but my music helped me get that out of me. So that's why I feel it just helped me get to it.
Okay.
But I feel like it's kind of acting out here to breathe and bring characters to life.
Would you say growing up and having the ability to sit back and observe and take things in, how much of that was part of you, and how much was that a discipline aspect brought in from your parents, who, coming from that area to say, hey, this is what you need to do growing up as a child, or was this something you just picked up on your own?
I think that's just me, because it wasn't part of a disciplinary type of thing, or anything like that. I was pretty quiet and not not a troublemaking child or anything like that. So yeah, it's just a personal choice.
Would you say when you got into out after high school and things, did you go straight to college, or what was your goals once you got out of high school? You mentioned singing and music, playing an instrument. Was that first and foremost in school, or you were looking to other aspects and just have music involved?
Um, you know what? I was just really open. Um, I mean, I guess the number one thing is making money. It wasn't necessarily singing, because singing came after. Singing was just something I did. It wasn't something that I, did for money. I did later on, like right before I started acting. I did record some stuff and sing with a four piece band. Did jazz standards, but it was never my goal to go be a singer or anything like that. I was in the fashion business, so I was a buyer, did windows, made clothes, I did, managing, all kinds of stuff like that.
So when you
It was really just to leave Omaha, and just go, figure out what it was I wanted to do, or what I was supposed to be doing.
Okay. So when you came and left high school, you still didn't know exactly what you wanted to do, and so but you were interested in fashion. So you mentioned, fashion, designing things, cutting stuff up. So you would say more of a fashion interior decorator or fashion designer, things of that nature, caught your interest a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was, my choice was between going to school for interior design or fashion merchandising, and I went into fashion merchandising. So I dealt with clothes instead of interiors, and just different fashion jobs, jobs in fashion business. Not necessarily making clothes because then I would be a designer. So it was really, I mean, all of it is being creative because it all deals with, putting things together, making things, creating something, creating a look, for a store, creating the look for a store's sales floor. All of that stuff is creating.
Would you
So
say
all of that was there. That was there always.
when you having all these different backgrounds singing before the acting, you had these different backgrounds of obviously fashion merchandising, singing, playing an instrument, all these different things. How did all great and wonderful and very impactful careers? How did that? I'm assuming, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming in your 20s or somewhere. How did that translate towards acting?
How did that what?
How did with all these different aspects, you learning how you where you want to go. You did fashion merchandising. You did some singing. You did some playing some instruments. All these different things. Now you're somewhere, I guess maybe in your 20s, and please correct me if I'm wrong. How did that translate or transition into acting?
Um, it was, me being in New York, and yeah, I was, you have your regular job of, like I said, I was a buyer, and I did some music videos when I got to New York, and I mean, one of the biggest things I feel is when you're in a city like that, it's easy to just sort of fall into things, um, because you have the opportunity to. So I did some music videos. A few people said, I should try and take classes and do something I could get, possibly work doing commercials or getting into a movie or something. And again, it's all about, making money. And so I audited some classes, and it wasn't for me. So, I continued doing what I was doing, but also I then, went and took some pictures and did that kind of stuff. So I had headshots and everything, but I was still, not giving up my, regular job. I started doing, goodness, I started doing extra work on SNL because one week a friend of mine couldn't do it, and I asked if I could, replace her, and it was fine with them. So I did it, and it became kind of like a regular gig, which was a couple $100 a week just to, be on set and just do that like after work or on the weekends. And so I did that, and then I had started working on my music during that time, and literally it was just one day while I was working on a song that it just clicked to me that dialogue in a script is the same as lyrics in a song. And so since I understood emotion through music, I then applied it to, the next audition that I had gotten. Because while I had then done the SNL stuff and got my after card, there were open door castings that they have where you could meet, agents. So agents sent me out, and this was after I had, kind of had my revelation through music and everything. And I booked it, and it was an episode of New York Undercover. And then my next audition was like 4 years later, and it was Stranger Inside for HBO. So that movie happened, and the company I was working for closed up in New York, and I just took all that as a sign to, just take the acting thing seriously. So,
As
the
a
store closed first, and then I got the part, and then that was it. I was just acting after that.
Everything's transitioned. Yeah, well, awesome job to be able to go from one set to the next. You strike me as a woman that obviously you're saying taking things more seriously, but you strike me as a woman, like you said, who is very observant and maybe shy of her
Mhm.
source. How did with your family, and I don't know if you have any siblings, but with your family overall, how did the news of that? Okay, I'm leaving everything behind. I'm going into acting. What was their reaction?
Well, I mean, it's like I left home, out of school and was so. To me, I just felt once I left home, that was that. So it didn't matter what you did once you're out of the house. That's the way I see it. Um, I'm not sure how my siblings feel. They just, all I know is they want me to be okay. They want everything to be good with me, and it is. And I feel with anything that you really want or really means something to you, there's going to be some struggle with it. And I mean, there has been, but it's just like that's my thing. It's my struggle. Um, they're there for me if I need, but it's my thing. So they're just, I kind of keep everything to myself because I feel that acting and anything in entertainment is one of those jobs where it unless you do it, I don't think people really understand what it is you do and just how hard it is, how hard it can be. Um, all the knocks that you can get, being knocked down, and just constantly having to get back up and just continue on. So I don't really talk about it. I just let them know when I have work, when something's coming out.
So it's like you're getting, and you're always having to find yourself to pick, like you said, pick yourself up like one out of 50, one out of 100, one out of 1,000 auditions before you get
I couldn't
something.
tell you one out of how many. I just know there's more. You know.
Oh yes, I know it's a lot. When from you mentioned the 4 years from New York Undercover to Stranger Inside, what was going through you? And I know you were
Mhm.
still doing other things. What was some of the tricks or things that you do to pick yourself up as you learned beginning and then up until now when you're the time in between roles? And what was you saying to yourself? What was your ways of encouragement to keep yourself going?
Um, I don't know if there's necessarily words or things to keep myself going because I mean it's not really a question of not keeping myself going. So it's just, I mean, really once you do it and you either got it or didn't do it, you're just on to the next thing. So there's really not a lot of thought in between. You know, it's just what's next is
What
kind of always it.
what
And
was your
early
motivation?
on,
I would say then.
what's that?
What was then if what was your motivation then would be the proper word, I guess.
Motivation to
Keep
do
go.
what?
Well, what will be your motivation to keep going? Like you said, you just do it or you don't. But like, what was your motivation after like year one, year two, year three, and things are not necessarily
Well,
progressing?
no, like what I'm saying is there is no not doing it. So there's no I mean that's there's only one way, just keep going. There is no going the other direction. So I guess I'm my motivation. There's like can't do is not an option.
Awesome. What was when you were going through this and as you're getting and going as a African American woman? What were some of the additional trials and tribulations that you had to go through? Like I noticed in a lot of your roles, and you keep maintaining natural hair. Uh, with that, or just being a woman, being a woman, regardless of race, is hard. But being a African American woman, sometimes there may be additional challenges. What were some of the things that you had to overcome in order to get to where you are at now?
Um, hmm, overcome. Well, you know what? I'm not exactly sure because in my case, it's like, as the actor, a lot of times you don't know all the things that are going on behind the scenes, what people are saying, what people want, or whatever if it's not you. You just know that you didn't get it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So you don't know politics behind the camera. The other thing is, I've gotten a lot of stuff, and a lot of the, I don't know, parts that I didn't get, most of them are things, I mean, I can't say there are any that I wish I had gotten that I didn't. So I feel like I'm in a good place, with that. Um, Nothing, I don't know, just that I wasn't cast in something, well, miscasted, I should say. So I'm thankful for that. I feel that one thing that is kind of, it can be an issue is, stereotyping. Because once you do one kind of role, people know you for it. And one thing that happened, I feel, with me, just a little bit, not a lot, because I feel like people know my work across the board and that I do many kinds of things. But I feel that, oh, can you hold 1 second?
Sure. Yes. Hello, this is Steven Sykes with Enliven Radio, and we're continuing speaking with the one and only Miss Yolonda Ross, and we're just filling us in regarding your progress as an African American woman in getting going in a career. And you was mentioning about how stereotyping and how sometimes you feel like in certain cases that happened to you.
Yeah, just slightly. With the part of with Treasure and Stranger Inside, she was a tough character. Tough meaning just a tough girl, tough-skinned, and a lot of times, because it was my first major thing, people saw me in that way, and people also didn't know me because there was no press on me, so they didn't, people weren't aware of what kind of work that I did or, what kind of characters I could be. So seeing that girl, a lot of times, without casting people knowing me or directors, would think I was, that type, or that's what I would get called in for. And it's fine to do that maybe a few times, as long as the characters aren't the same. But it's it's not me. It's not me, and it's not all that I can do. So I am lucky that I didn't get pigeonholed in that, and more so, people know me outside of my characters. At this point. So I think the work is pretty diverse, which is good.
With some of your roles, you would say within Antron Fisher, with Stranger Inside, um, and a couple others, and also with Trim, all your roles have been, a lot of the roles have been very strong, authoritative women, or you might say just women who can take charge but not be crazy. How would
Mhm.
but now these are all outwardly about roles. But obviously, like you mentioned, you're typically a shy woman who just observes and keeps on going, keeps things to yourself. Spock, you might say. So how would you say the transition in that? Like, what did you just say? Okay, I just got to do it and do it, or was it like what was the change and metamorphosis as you as an actress to be able to do those roles?
Well, none of them are me. So that is it. That's a single thing. They're not me. So um, once I'm in character, that's it. It's not Yolanda. So everything then is about that character.
Would you say you find yourself
That's
as you?
why.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's why I am able to do it.
Would you say that you find yourself, and some other actors and actresses mention this, you find yourself a little bit of a certain character may come into you here and there when you're dealing with some people, or taking on the personalities here and there that's applying it to yourself as part of your characters?
Wait. So do you mean
Like the
as
personalities of some of the characters
Yolanda?
has some of that seeped into Yolanda.
Oh, some of the characters.
Hmm.
Um, it depends on when it is because I know when we're shooting, and I mean I'll just take Stranger because that was the biggest one where I spent the most time as as a character, and we me and the girls in the movie rolled together, hung together. We really did like hang and work as a unit, and I felt when we got close to the end of shooting, like the last week, it was like it's funny how you can sense that it's over or it's ending, and I felt Yolanda come back. So yeah, I mean definitely characters do take over, and in a case like that, you really are. It's like you have to bond with the people you're working with, and we became those characters somewhat.
What were some of the funny things you've done on a set to keep you the excitement? Like any practical jokes, or did y'all take somebody's
Mm.
shoes, hide some dresses, not say some funny things on the line, like when outtakes. What were some of the funny things that's happened to you on some of these sets?
You know what? I'm lucky I haven't worked with George Clooney. I heard he does that stuff a lot. I am not good at joking. I'm not a joker.
So,
Yeah, funny on set? Nothing.
well,
Nothing.
you know
I have
when you're not
no
a
funny things.
when you're not
Mm-mm.
a joker and things like that, you're prime target now. You know that, right?
Dude, please don't say that. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
It's your prime
Yeah,
target.
no,
Everybody
I'm
coming
like
after you.
so slow to get jokes. Like really slow to catch on to anything. So, oh, that's bad. That's bad.
Well, now you're in New York, and the whole world knows that you don't like practical jokes, or you don't get them too well. They're coming after you now.
Mhm.
What is some of the? What was your Stranger Side? Obviously, for you was your biggest role. What was your? Um, what's the next role that you would say that your second favorite role or your third favorite that was like probably the most challenging? You might say.
Most challenging?
Which one was the most challenging?
Is that what you said?
Yes. What was
Um,
your next favorite and also most
Antoine
challenging?
Fisher.
Antoine Fisher.
Well, most challenging, Antoine Fisher. And next favorite would be the one in my short, the one that I wrote.
Oh, the Breaking Night.
Mhm.
Okay, that's what you tip my hand. How is that now that you've gone from an actress and major to small to various other roles, and now you just jump ship and just said forget it for that role. I'm just going to be a director. How did you do that?
Well, by being a black actress. Yeah, it's like you
Oh,
need to have stuff to do, and if it's not there,
you
and
created.
you can write or write, create stuff, it's the best thing that you can do because even if you do get really great material from someone else, it's still not. You're still just you're kind of the low man on the totem pole. You still have to do what director writer wants. You still have to do what producers want. And for the most part, I've had great roles and directors that I've not had any issues with. So we're all on the same page. But I've heard just stories about people being with directors that don't direct or just wanted something that was just not right, and then later on it's like you see the work and you're not happy with it. um I think it's a wonderful thing to be able to write and direct and get the opportunity to, and I look forward to doing more of it while still acting, because because that's a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing.
Okay. So now we're here on Enliven Radio. What's your next role that you've written for yourself, or the next movie you're directing?
Um, yeah, I guess it's the same thing. So there's a film that I've written that I'll be one of the actors in, and it's about a little boy. And that's all I'm saying.
Mary had a little boy. No.
Mary had a little boy.
So it's a little boy.
Yes.
And his
She
name
had
was
two little
Steven,
boys.
and he became a rich radio host. That's what it came out to be. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, you can keep all the rights. I don't need anything. So, what would you say? And as you're going through these roles, one of the more recent ones that's come out, just coming out this year, or excuse me, it came out, was Go for Sisters. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. Go for Sisters is John Sayles' 18th film, and it stars myself and Lisa Gay Hamilton and Eddie J. Almos.
Could you say the
And
names again for me?
it's about two.
I'm sorry.
His name, Edward J. Almos.
No, the second after your name. I heard Edward James Almost. You and who else?
Lisa Gay Hamilton.
Okay, cool. All right. And what's this movie about?
It's about two friends, two childhood friends that are now, they went different ways after school, and my character got into a lot of partying, alcohol, drugs, and went to jail. And Lisa Gay's character went into law enforcement. And so you meet us 20 years later, and she is now my new parole officer.
Mm.
And that's where our friendship gets rekindled, and I help her find her son, because her son has now, and he's a grown man, but he's now in trouble with the law, and she needs to find him before they do, before these people that he's been working for find him, because he's in a lot of trouble.
That sounds a very impactful role, and I saw the trailer for it, and yes, and I really love it. And I've seen majority of your work. I would say I've missed a couple of them, so please forgive me. But I've caught majority of your work, and I want to see the movie, but I have to go somewhere to find a place to play it. But at the same time, I think this is going to be your strongest role. I really do. I think this is your best role, because a lot of your roles bring a lot of passion, and you can see it within this one.
Yeah, no, it's definitely there. I mean, the thing is, it really does. It doesn't mirror Stranger Inside, but in a way, I almost feel like these characters are completely different. But if the character in Stranger Inside got out of prison, 20 years later, she would be this person. So it was like playing an adult, real person, and I say real person because that's the kind of characters I feel that I play. They're just real people. That you feel like you recognize something in them as a friend of yours or somebody that you know. And I mean, another reason why you probably feel there's so much there for this character is, I mean, it's one of the two movies that I've been in where I'm the lead character. So you really get to do your work in a movie, when you're all through the movie versus just one scene, and that's what I'm saying about writing and being just the actor. When you're just the actor, it's not up to you where, how many scenes you get, where your character's at, what your character's doing. It's, you get the whatever little bit that they give you.
Well,
and then that's it.
Well, I'm certainly writing somebody, the people and get you nominated, get all of you nominated here for an Oscar. or in Screen Actors Guild,
Well,
something.
please do. I got nominated for a Spirit Award, so
Yes.
make sure people vote for me there too.
Well, I'm going to vote because I really this is I'm a big fan of like well, I love movies in general, but large, small, big, tall, with big, we make a lot of money or not. Now we all know that you're a multi-billion-dollar actress and you earn some tons of money, but this one is just that good, and I highly suggest everybody to view this. Who's Before we go further, how is it working with Mr. Edward James Olmos? I've known him for all his, besides the movie roles, but he's very involved in a lot of charity and social
Mhm.
advocacy. What was it like working with
Yeah,
him?
he's fun. I mean, it really does change the dynamic of things because a lot of the movie, well, the beginning of the movie, it was just me and Lisa Gay, and then he comes into the picture with us, and he's fun. He's fun. He's very seasoned. It's like he's somebody that's been in film and television and has done a million different projects, and it's just like watching an old pro do his thing.
Mm.
Um, so, we were just kind of like, in the movie, very much how we were on set, kind of like two kids following this dude around and, you know, taking his lead.
What did you learn from him? What was it? Obviously, you're a veteran actresses and things like that, but when you get around a pro like that, it's like, oh, the game is on. What did you learn from him? Any tricks, trades? What would you say you picked up that you added to your repertoire?
Um, hmm. You know what? I wouldn't say that I picked up anything because we all have different things that suit us, different acting styles and different, we just have different personalities. So I just enjoyed watching him do his thing. And there was, I can't say or can't think of anything that I would say I would then do, or would want to do. Um, I wanted, I want to continue working to get to be his age and still be working. That's one thing, definitely.
Well, you gotta. You're still
But
very young.
other than that, what?
You're still very young, so you have a long ways to go.
Yeah. I just want to keep working steady during all that time.
No problem. Who would you like to work with? Well, okay. Let me put it. I'm gonna make it a little bit harder for you. So be prepared. Who who's your favorite actress?
Yeah, I don't know if I have a favorite actress. I mean, there's people whose work I like. I can't say a favorite. I mean, I like Tilda Swinton. I like Viola Davis. I like Jane Fonda.
Mm.
Um, I like Kate Blanchett.
Mm. What would you say? And
Myself.
obviously, that's number one. What would you say? And your favorite actor that you want to work with for professional and private reasons.
That I want to work with. Good grief. No, I'd like to work with Don Cheadle.
Mm.
I'd like to work with Viola. You know what? There are people, and of course, I just can't think of them. The others, but yeah, there's definitely like people that I have my little list. I should have like wrote it down. You just randomly write these things down sometimes because there's people whose work that I have, I see in movies and I'm like, damn, I would really like to work with them on something because you just know that they would push you. Philip Seymour Hoffman is one.
Hmm.
He is, and I don't know who else. I can't think of them offhand.
Well, the three that you named are very well known for their diverse characters. Like, obviously, being an actor and an actress, you play different roles, but the complexity of their characters that involved a
Mhm.
lot, so many different things. They're not. There's a Don Cheadle's movie. He had Traitor. That was such a complex movie, And I see a couple of the roles that you've done, and all the roles actually that you've done. They all extremely complex characters. They're not just a flat character. And they're also very round. And it's like they come in full circle.
Mhm.
In some cases, fuller. When I looked at Strangers Inside, for example, I felt that the character came full circle long before the movie even ended, like halfway through, because you
Mhm.
came to a realization, okay, this is what's going on, and I have to make a change. So a lot of those characters and actors, excuse me, that you mentioned, mirror a lot of the things that you just said that you like to do. Um,
Yeah, and I mean, and that makes sense because it's like you want to be challenged with, what you already put out there, um, and be pushed to do even more. You know.
do you see yourself? Obviously, a lot of things are the acting and stuff like that. Do you see yourself transitioning to um, either TV full time? You've done 24. You've done uh, a couple of other shows. You've done
Mhm.
and things like that in New York Undercover. Do you see yourself, let's say, trying to get on a TV role and be the lead or the actress, or just involved, or do you just want to stick with
Yeah.
movies? Which one do you want to
No,
do
I
more?
do. I see TV happening because I feel personally it's, well, cable anyway. I feel it's where the best writing is.
Hmm.
Where you can, for me, because I feel like whatever I do is going to be, real life, so it's not going to be PG. It'll probably be more of the PG plus R rating type of thing.
NC
So it
17.
would be cable, not major stations like NBC or something like that. But yeah, I feel like it's the best writing, and they're pretty much, those episodes can almost be like mini movies, and they get the most viewers because, I mean, it's unfortunate these days. You can make a great film, but either you can't get it distributed, or you can barely get it distributed, and it's hard to get people in movie theaters. I mean, because right now, Gopher Sisters has been playing all over the country, and it plays for like a week, and sometimes less, you know, in the city that it's playing in. And just like you, what city are you in?
We're in Richmond, Virginia.
Okay, so it hasn't been to Virginia yet.
No, hasn't been
We're going to
there.
be in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is not Virginia, I know, but I think we're getting down there.
all right. I just wanted to make sure you clarify that because you said you're from Nebraska. I'm not trying to pick on public education in Nebraska. I just wanted to make sure we got that clarified. You mentioned the joke being you mentioned that Charlotte's not Virginia, so I was just giving you a hard time. Is it coming to New York?
Well, it's not. Charlotte is North Carolina.
I know. I just
Why is there a Charlotte in Virginia?
well,
Oh.
there's a there's a Charlottesville, but no,
No,
no.
but I'm just saying because you know what? It's like I have friends down there that drive, and I don't like driving that far, but people that will drive hours because things don't come to their city, and go to another state to see something, and I'm like, wow, really? Thank you, but I know it's like I know I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm kind of lazy in that way.
When is it coming to
But
New York?
but eastern cities are a little closer than some of the ones out west. They're just huge.
Yeah, you're driving
You
like
know,
6, 8, 7 hours just to get to
like it feels like days. Yeah,
Yeah. How far did you have to go to the nearest gas station from home?
dude, it's like down the street. It's not far.
Down the street like a half a mile, or down the street like 10 miles.
No, not 10 miles. Like less than half.
Okay.
Less than half. Because it's not like Omaha City. It's not rural.
Okay. So all right. When is it coming? When is Go for Sisters coming to New York? Or did it come already? Did I miss it?
It was in New York. It opened in New York.
Okay.
So it was there November 8th for 2 weeks.
Okay, I missed it. I knew it opened. I was trying to see if it's coming back to New York by any chance.
Yeah, not that I know of. It will be. I think it will screen in New York. I think, I'm not sure, but for the Spirit Awards, because films are screening for people to see them, for the nominations, because I got nominated in it. So for people to view it and then they could, vote later. But as far as screenings and anything dealing with the movie, people can go to goforsistersmovie.com because they update it regularly, and it's on Facebook too. Go for Sisters Movie,
Okay.
and they keep adding the cities. So each week, there's cities. So
Okay.
that's
Well,
what I would suggest to do, so you can see if it's playing in your city or not.
well, if as soon as it gets closer, I'll try. I promise you, I'll try my best. I can't get to Arizona, but I will promise you, I'll get to where I can. What would you say is the biggest fad or misnomer in Hollywood, or that you hear feeling that people have regarding actors and actresses? Like, for example, you're all not sleeping with each other during the movie set and the back scenes. You're not all just obviously doing drugs. You're not all causing trouble. All these different foolish, stereotypes. What is some of them that you hear that you want to let people know that's not true?
I I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of out of the loop on all that kind of crap. You know what I mean?
That's good.
Yeah, we don't all wear fake eyelashes. I don't know. I don't know.
You're not like
Uh,
in between all the movie
I don't know
sets.
where that came from. It's like, I guess because maybe it's a reality TV thing. Like fake eyelashes are just crazy. I
Mm.
like eyelashes. I like dressing up, but watching people on reality TV that are supposed to be in their house, like doing nothing,
Hmm.
and they're fully made up, makes no sense to me.
Oh gosh, yes indeed. What's your guilty pleasure? What are you watching on TV that you know you're not supposed to be, but you watch it anyway?
um, well, you know what? I really usually I don't, because I don't even have a TV in my house. So my guilty pleasures happen when I'm in other people's houses.
No.
And I just watched today. I don't know what it is. It's something on A&E that has like rodeo ladies, and I just got kind of caught up in it this morning. But I don't even know what it's called. But I do love anything on HGTV, HGTV, and the Food Channel.
Again,
Food
now,
Network.
so, now HGTV. Now, I'm going to ask you for all the fellas out there. Can you cook?
Yeah.
You can cook. What's your favorite dish?
Hamburgers.
So,
Yeah.
so if I bring you
I'm from
home.
Nebraska, so that's beef. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. I give you that, but you mean to tell me if I bring you home to grandma and says, "Look," grandma says, "You know what? Yolanda, I appreciate you coming. I need you to handle Thanksgiving dinner, and all you're going to serve is hamburgers. Well, come on. What else can you cook? Give me a little something more than that."
Mm, well, hamburgers aren't really Thanksgiving. They're just a dish.
Well, I know, but
Um,
I mean, like, what?
I
What?
don't know. It's like I like making Brussels sprouts. That's what I like making. I don't know. I mean,
You
it's
sounding
like
like a
you do the
microwave
dinner or
queen.
whatever.
You sounding like a
Yeah,
microwave
I
queen.
do, actually. I like pushing 3 minutes start.
Oh
Yeah, sometimes
boy.
you just don't feel like it. Like a lot of times, I like making pizzas too.
Okay. Well, so somebody else is gonna have to do all the
I'm
cooking.
losing, aren't I?
Yeah.
I'm losing right now.
Well, but the A for effort
Thank
is
you.
there. We're gonna keep you. The A for effort is there, so I'm very proud of you on that one. What you have very beautiful luscious hair that you work on and you keep and things like that. And I know that you keep it a lot of different colors from time to time. What's your secret? Are you using some famous brand? You're from Nebraska, so I'm assuming you got something in the back, the trunk that you done hooked up from the tub that you made in the sink. What are you doing to keep your hair going?
Wait, to keep what going?
What are you doing with to keep your hair going? Like, are you mixing some concoction
Oh,
in a sink or in a back room with some trailer in Nebraska to keep that hair going, or what are you doing?
no, you know what? I try and keep this stuff moisturized because it gets dry super easy. Um, a lot of leave-in conditioner because otherwise I can't get through my hair. Like really,
You don't do the
I
mayonnaise
can't
treatment
get most
on
of it.
oils and eggs or anything like that?
No, no, no.
You ain't going through that struggle.
Nah, not right now. No, I probably have in the past, but not right now.
All right.
No,
What is
try not to put too much heat on it though.
All right, that's a good thing. You mentioned singing. Do you have any material available that we can all hear?
Yeah, I have I think like 3 or 4 songs on SoundCloud, and it's under my name, Yolonda Ross.
Okay. And are we going to get a music video coming out soon or another album in between? Are you going to sing in these movies got soundtracks. Are you going to get on the soundtrack of a movie? What's coming up?
Well, you know what? One of them I wrote for Antoine Fisher, but they didn't use it. So yeah, I would love to if that came up. What I fear will happen is my head will be in a lot of other places because I feel like future movies I'll definitely be just acting, but I know I'll be directing more, and I probably won't even be thinking about singing.
Oh boy, we're gonna. But
So,
you're in New York sometimes. You got to get a gig, or do you still do some things on the side, like in between the acting? You can
mm,
say Yolanda Ross featuring at the 30/30 Club or something like that.
yeah, no, not unless somebody asks, and it's like I'm around more actors than singers. I may end up doing something in theater where I get to sing,
Mm.
but it depends on when the play goes up.
So if I call some people up and I say, I got this actress and who could also sing, and can I contact them and say, hey, Yolanda Ross is available, and I call you up and send you an email and say, Miss Ross, are you available to sing at such and such lounge? Would you for like a set for like 3 weeks? You can do it.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I guess it just depends. I mean, it just all depends. It really does.
Mm.
Because I also don't do just impromptu stuff. Like I'm not that kind of singer. It's like I still get nervous, so I really do have to be super prepared. You
Can
know,
can I get a scene in your
and I
next?
haven't done it in so long, so
Oh, can I
I would
get a
be really nervous.
can I get a scene in your next music video?
Whenever I make one.
Well, when you get to, so
I don't even know if people watch music videos anymore.
no, you'd be surprised and things like that. But when you get a music video and things, and you get an album, I got the lead love and interest in the role, right?
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
no problem. Or I could be the tech on the side, fixing the computer, whatever is comfortable. Okay.
Okay.
What would you say is now that you're transitioning and things like that? What would you say we're here in 2014? What is Yolanda Ross trying to do in 2014?
um, well, I'm going to be acting and directing and making sure everybody knows my face and name together.
Well, I know your face and name together. I saw it. I say, oh, that's Yolanda
Well, a lot
Ross.
of people know my face. They don't know my name, though.
Well,
But we're working on that.
well, work on it, but please don't get it. I don't want to see you on TMZ and be like Yolanda Ross is down the street going to Mr. Childs, and she was drunk and she ran into Lindsay Lohan. Now they're on the beef together next on TMZ. I don't want to. I don't want to see
Yeah, I
that.
don't want that either.
Okay.
They don't need to know my name.
Leave them out of it. Okay, that's no problem. A couple of questions.
Hmm.
Who is your favorite singer? Like, what are you listening to right now?
Um, yeah, I haven't been listening to a lot, but voices, Daryl Hall, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, and who else? I did listen to Lenny Williams for Gopher Sisters. I've been listening to a song of his a lot, and Willie Hutch.
As a woman, you say you don't have a TV at home, and then you listen to music a little bit. I imagine you also write and you read a lot as well. What's your favorite book?
Another Country, James Baldwin.
James Baldwin, Another Country. So I'm not familiar with that book. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Um, it's it's from this guy's point of view, Harlem, black guy, and it's in. I think it's the late '50s, early '60s, early or mid '60s. And his sister seeing a white dude, and he's a gay guy, and just like I'm not very good at it. I'm really not good at giving details of things. I probably can't even do it with my own movies, but it was what drew me to it was the world he created when writing it and reading it. It just it was so complete and so full, like I could see everything in it, and there were things in the book that I felt like only I had maybe experienced them, and then you read them, and somebody else wrote this book. It's like, oh, so somebody else has felt that too, and I just found it really interesting,
All
very
right.
interesting. And I wish it would have been made a movie back then, to see how he envisioned it.
What's down that you're in New York a whole lot and also LA? Who's your favorite designer? What's your favorite clothes?
Designer, yeah, no idea. No idea. I mean, I did like John Galliano a lot, but I don't know. I'm not really into anything anymore right now. Not right now, anyway.
Your favorite pair of shoes? You got a pair of black shoes, sneakers, boots, Uggs. What do you got?
I
Hmm?
can't stand Uggs, but that I have, or this that I've seen, or
What do
what do you mean?
what that you have that you like to wear a lot? Like, what's your favorite?
I have a pair of Clarks, just desert boots, and I have a pair of Kenneth Cole, just I don't know, just a slip-on boot. It's like a cowboy boot, kind of.
Okay. What's your favorite color?
Hmm. Um, I do like green a lot, like greenish gold.
Greenish
That
is
kind of
gold.
green. Greenish gold. I like gray. I like navy.
All right. Do you watch any sports?
No,
Okay.
no.
So you don't. You just. So you don't. In the Super Bowl time, you're not cheering for a certain team to try to get to
Oh.
the Super Bowl or anything.
I'm looking for the Food Network during that time.
You're looking for the Food Network. Okay. Well, you know they're gonna be having foods
Yeah,
about
no,
the
not.
Super Bowl, you tailgating food and things like that.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I'll be making the hot dogs and stuff.
And the Brussels sprouts and the broccoli and the hamburger, right?
Oh, come on, potato chips.
Oh, and potato chips. Okay,
Yeah,
you can make potato chips. Okay, I will. Oh, all right. And you handcraft the bowls
yeah.
too.
Well, I open the bag and pour.
you,
Yep.
you you do all the heavy work. I tell you, you go.
Oh, I could eat them too. Yep.
There you go. Apple or Android?
Apple.
Oh Jesus! What are
I
we gonna
had an
do?
Android.
And you gave it up?
Well, it got messed up with the hurricane, so I just went to Apple. But I'll probably get a Android afterwards.
So you gonna get an Android?
Samsung, that big phone is an Android, right?
Right. Yeah. So you gonna get yourself the Galaxy? Well, you got the Galaxy 4 and the Note too.
Oh, I like the Note. I like the big. It's big. I like it.
All right. No problem. Well, Miss Yolanda Ross, I thank you so very much for taking time out with Enliven Radio for helping us out with our Empowered Women series. You do so many different wonderful things. What would you tell? You are in your 30s. Is that safe to say?
Mhm.
What would you tell? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just being funny.
Okay, no problem.
Continue.
All right. So,
Sorry.
if you're in your 30s, what do you tell? Here's one of my favorite questions. What would you tell the what type? Well, let me ask you this: what age did you start acting?
Um, shoot, 20s.
20. So, what would you tell?
I've only been acting like years. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're 20. So what? 10 years? 12 years now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
What would you tell?
2001.
Okay. So 2001. So yeah, about 13, 12, 13 years now. What would you tell?
Mhm.
What would you tell the 20-year-old Yolanda Ross? Would you tell it?
About.
Well, just like what to do, what not to do, what role not to take. Don't. And in 6 years, you're gonna get off of this role, and you took it, and it was terrible. Don't do it. What would you tell, or lessons learned from this experience? What would you tell the 20-year-old?
Start writing.
Start writing for herself, to be a director or a
Mhm.
movie. Okay.
Start writing. Yeah, I mean, because I'm only writing for me.
There's nothing wrong. So
I'm only writing.
you're writing
Mhm.
for you. Are you looking to have a book soon? Because you have a lot.
Oh, no, no, no. I mean, like film stuff. Yeah, I'm not. No, no books.
Say no books. You said.
Yeah, no books.
Okay. When when are we gonna see Londa Ross doing some comedy?
You know what? Yeah, that's funny. Um, somebody else asked me that because it's like I am a funny person, or I can be, um, but it just doesn't come out. So in the new year, you will.
Okay, no problem. Well, thank you very much for joining us in this Empowerment Women series. It's going to help your experience and all that you've done is going to help a lot of young people and women and just people people in general to keep going because you have a diverse background. And please, please, please keep singing and all the other different things. And
I will. I will.
okay, and then when we meet up, we're gonna have some hamburgers, we're gonna have dogs, we're gonna have some broccoli, we're gonna have some potato chips, and
Broccoli, Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts. Okay, and you know what? I'm gonna throw in some grilled cheese in there. Can you make some grilled cheese?
Okay.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
that right. There we go. All right. When you coming to Virginia?
You know what? I was supposed to come down there for Tim Reed's film festival because my short played in it. Um, but I was out west already and I couldn't make it.
Oh,
I'm
so
not
you,
sure when I'll be back down there
so you
because I
telling?
really because I'd never been there before, so
Oh,
I do want to visit.
so you telling everybody in the world of 49 states you hate Virginia, so you're not coming. Okay.
No, 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 not saying that at all.
Okay. Not about
Come
what?
on.
Okay. I won't tease you too bad. So you're gonna come to so when you come to Richmond or you come to DC or something like that, please give me a shout out, and we love to come see you and take a picture because we appreciate
No,
true
that'd be
believers.
really cool.
And because we appreciate true believers of out there who's working hard and doing things and who's on their grind and stuff like that. You involved in any charities or anything going on?
Um, I work with the Jim's Girls organization. Otherwise, I can't say I'm attached to any charities.
Okay. And how can we follow you? Like your website and Twitter?
Um, well, I'm on Twitter at Yolonda Ross, and it's YOLONDA. Also on Facebook under Yolonda Ross, and it's my website, just yolandaross.com.
Okay. You on Facebook? You on Twitter?
Mhm. And
Yeah.
on my website.
Okay, and Instagram.
Yeah, yeah, I am.
Okay. Yeah, there's so many things you got to keep up these
That's under a
days.
different name.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, I don't even think of that one as something to. I don't know. I guess I never thought about that one. Yeah, I'm
okay,
dung beetle 70.
okay. And next time we speak to you, we're gonna get your PayPal information so we can send you money donation to your cooking classes, and so we can get you going for a little bit more. Okay. Everybody, thank you so very kindly,
Thank
and
you so much.
we appreciate it. And then again, this is Stephen Sykes with Live in Radio, for part of our empowerment series, and we'll catch you on the next one. And everybody, you have a blessed day and be good to each other. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Marvella, I know she ain't who I'm supposed to be hanging with, but where I live, everybody got some kind of record. Everybody likely to be carrying something they shouldn't be. I got to feel alive sometimes, otherwise what's the point in being out? I can't do no more time, damn it. I already let enough of my life slip by. Must be fun, huh? Sitting here, play God on people. This sorry girl ain't got her shit together. We're gonna have to lock her ass up some more.
You can go. I'm not recommending a hearing.
Oh. My record?
I'll write it up so you know it won't be a problem. Is your sample okay?
I need anything but orange juice. They squeeze our own at the diner.
Let's be more careful in the future.
Whole time saying, huh? If you ever need anything, if I can ever do anything for you, anything, right? Like I got anything to do with your world. Thank you, Bernice, for real.
Parole Agent Stokes.
You kept your married name.
Look, it would be better in here if you just...
Parole Agent Stokes, then.
When I was a little girl, I had a friend.
I work in the music business. I know something about your client. He's a terrible man.
He's not being tried for that.
Do you think he shot her?
I don't see how he could have. By the way,
I got him.
did you know that your husband is cheating on you?
That's ridiculous.
And that's called giving him the benefit of the doubt.
It's good to see you, Linda.
You too.
Good night.
Good night.
Do you think you'll get him off?
Yes, I do.
If you get him off, what will you do when he kills the next girl?
I fucked up. Marvella, I know she ain't who I'm supposed to be hanging with, but where I live, everybody got some kind of record. Everybody likely to be carrying something they shouldn't be. I got to feel alive sometimes, otherwise what's the point in being out? I can't do no more time, damn it. I already let enough of my life slip by. Must be fun, huh? Sitting here, play God on people. This sorry girl ain't got her shit together. We're gonna have to lock her ass up some more.
Fucking remember, I wouldn't have fucking asked. I just, every single fucking time. Ah, honey, come on.
Can you do me a favor? Could you go get my pocketbook off the shelf and bring it here? Why? Can you do that for me, sweetie?
Oh, Rainey, where are you?
Stay inside.
Are you coming back?
Of course I am.
Come on, Rainey. Close the door, Maggie. I'm a busy man, Miss Brown. I have a heavy caseload.
I had to see her.
Really?
Really. There's been a terrible miscarriage of justice.
Don't tell me. You're innocent.
Very, very guilty.
Maybe you could be my liaison. Be in the film, too.
Sylvester could do that. You don't need me.
I thought maybe you'd reconsider, and that's why you came down here.
I don't want you to go away thinking that all New Orleans people was rude. I am, but I ain't typical.
I know you're not. I'm from here, you know. New Orleans East.
See, she really just learning about Indians.
My family, they didn't approve of the Indians.
You call me after Mardi Gras, and then we'll talk.
Can I film you Mardi Gras Day?
You gonna have to film me, girl. I'm gonna be the prettiest. Sylvester?
All right.
Wait, I'm trying to help you here, but you gotta work with me.
I'll be fine. I just need my medicine.
Do what I can, but I need you to show up for your job, and I need you to stop acting out, Wade. You're gonna wind up in the... Wade, sit down.
I can't sit down.
Come here. You know how lucky it was me coming down the hall just now, not C.O. Perry? Do you understand what would happen?
C.O. Perry!
You selling shit, just keep on walking.
God, is that you, Antoine? Come here, baby.
Don't touch me. Yeah, it's me. I'm all grown up. I'd like to speak to Miss Tate.
Well, you want to come in?
No. Would you like to get her?
The fuck you talking about? You see I'm trying to tell you something here? I've been waiting a long time for this. My whole damn life I've been waiting to find you. And they telling me I'm crazy for liking it in here, for trying to get over here next to you. But see, fuck all that. This is all I know, you know what I'm saying? I'm up in this motherfucker because of you. My flesh and blood. My daughter died.
Sorry.
It's a long time ago.
How old was she?
She died 3 hours before she was born.
I'm so sorry.
I didn't know how to go on without my beautiful baby girl. My husband couldn't go on. I asked God for answers, but he didn't give me any.
And so?
I decided, rather than to bother God, I'd do something myself.
What'd you do?
I found another one.